The things that I'll do to make people leave so I can be on the spot and be in the spotlight. Everybody enjoyed that. That's great. That's Brandon is a big fan of Ric Flair. Ric Flair, if you don't know him, he's a very well-known professional wrestler, and he's probably known by people that even don't like professional wrestling. Of course, I used to be a big fan of that at one time. Brandon likes my imitation of him, mainly just the walk and the woo part. So that was just for him. That's pretty good, Bob. As you know, we're here to give our time and our effort and words of gratitude and blah, 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 blah for Brandon, a guy that's given us about 4 years. And I'd like to stand up here and say a whole lot, but I'm not. I'm leaving that to other people. And because I really don't have that much to say about him, to be quite honest about it. Very little, actually. He does like the ribs, and that's good. Which, that's over, because he's moving to a new part of the country. That's going to be Cleveland Indians. Yeah. Of course, with the Reds are doing this year, it may be a good move to change teams, you know?
That's true.
But I'm going to tell you something, buddy. You're going to have to get over a lot of things. You're going to have to get over the style of cooking you've been used to eating. I used to spend a lot of time in northern and central Ohio, and it's different. You know, it's a different animal. You know, a lot of German potato salad, no more sweet tea. You better get a speed dial on the towing trucks in that area for wintertime. You better get all-season tires. You know, you get a warmer coat because you're going to be needing all that, brother. And you can sit there and smile about it now, but in a few months, we'll all be smiling. I want to bring up the first roaster. Actually, it says me, so it's not me. First guy I'm going to have come up tonight, he's the mayor of Raceland, and he's actually the minister of Raceland Foreign Affairs, Jim Kraft.
Well, I think it's pretty good when somebody tells you you're a mayor and you're not. It makes you feel good, though. Like I said, we're here tonight to pay tribute to a fine young gentleman. When you think of a roast, you think of the roast that you put in a crock pot and put the potatoes and the onions and stuff in and cook it. But that's not what kind of roast we're having. We're roasting a guy that's been here for 4 years, he's become a good friend. I've enjoyed working with him. And some of the skits that we've put on over the years, I mean, if you haven't seen the skits that me and Brandon's put on and what he's put on, it is really something. But the best thing I want to miss best, Brandon, is on Saturday mornings when we come here on for basketball in the fall. I'm going to miss you on that, buddy. Because you always come in with a big smile on your face, ready to go get that basketball going and everything. But you know, somebody's got to step up now to take the place of that. Don't know who it's going to be, but we had some good times. And you're going to be missed, not only by me, but everybody here, and the team is going to miss you, and it's going to be sad to be without you and seeing you on Sunday mornings and everything that we do, all the events, and the time we've had out there in this garden and everything. You really become a good friend to me. You know, we're all shy at times, but now, you know, we got to know you, now you're leaving us. But I don't blame you, because the guy's got to update himself, do something better. So I want you to know you're going to be missed, not only by myself, but I'm also speaking to my daughter. She can't be here tonight because of work, but she's going to miss you too, just as well, because you really taught her a lot. And we're just going to miss this old guy. He's just fun to be around, and I just don't know what we're going to do without it. But we appreciate you, and come back and see us when you get a chance. Don't be a stranger. You know, some people, they leave, they're strangers, they don't come back. But I want you to make me, because you say you'll come back and visit us when you get a chance.
Yummy walks here.
That's right.
But anyway, you're going to be well missed by the whole entire church and community and everything. Because there's nobody like Brandon. I mean, he's loved no matter where he goes. He always brings a smile to somebody's face. But I know we're all going to miss you, buddy. So we'll wish you well. And like I said, don't be a stranger. Thank you.
The next roaster in line is a lady that's been here just really, not real long herself, and we've all come to love and appreciate her as well. Wish I could say something derogatory about her, but really don't know her well enough in that way to be able to do that. She is our associate minister. Paula, you're on. Paula Sargent.
Rose.
Well, I want to start this by telling you all a little story.
A little one?
Yeah. When I first came here, you know, I was offered this position, and I mean, I knew Kevin, I knew Robin, I really knew Brandon, but more, I think, in a social aspect than I did, you know, working alongside them. So when I came here, my office is at the end of the hall there, you know, where Brandon's is, and mine's right at the end of the hall. And sitting there all day long, you know, I really didn't know what to do. I mean, I didn't know. I didn't have a phone in my office. I didn't really know what to do. So I wanted to show you all, this is every day, all day long, for the first 3 or 4 weeks I was here. I want to show you what I had to put up with. Every day. Hey, Paul. Hey, Paul. Hey, Paul. Every single day. And I could hear him coming down the hall to that chair. You know, why he didn't walk, I don't know, but he came to the chair. I developed a nickname for Brandon. I called him PB, for Pastor Brandon. And it's kind of stuck, I guess. Still call him that, among other things. One thing, it's a couple of things I'm just going to tell about Brandon tonight. He has taken me, he has shown me some things that, you know, has opened a lot of doors about who Brandon is. He took me over to Yummy Walk. And Yummy Walk, the restaurant over there, and when we walked in, he is greeted by, "Oh, Miss No Vegetable!" That's how Brandon's known, because Brandon doesn't eat vegetables. Another funny story I want to tell about him was, you know, I used to go with Brandon a lot to go pick the teens up. And this one particular morning, it had snowed and snowed and snowed. And it was cold out. So Brandon is going to start the band. So I'm inside and, you know, over here, and I go out. And he's out with the windshield wipers, and they're frozen. They're stuck. Well, I get in the van. And as I'm sitting there in the van waiting on it, I can see him. And he is mad. He's got snow in his hair. He's got ice in his beard. His glasses are fogged up. And he is out there trying to get those wipers loose. I mean, he was mad. Well, I start laughing because I've never seen Brandon mad. So he gets in the van finally, gets the wipers loose, he gets in the van and he shuts the door. And I said, "That was so funny." And he turned around and looked at me and gave me a look that was scary. I mean, he turned around and looked at me, it was just cold, it was frightening. I've never seen Brandon that angry. So that's kind of a funny story. I will remember that about him. I will remember his toe touches. You all have to get him to show you what those are if you don't know. His impersonations. His use of the phrase, "Say what?" He said it all at just the right times. Giving up pop. I'll remember that. And always doing anything I ask him to do, whenever I ask him to do it. From moving bags of cement to being involved in VBS. There's one particular memory that I want to share with you about Brandon. One night we went to pick the kids up, and I think we picked the twins up last. And it was in the summer, and we were coming back here to the church, and we had the windows down in the van. And they were on the back of the van singing a Christian song at the top of their lungs. And as we pulled up to a red light, they were singing loud. We got the windows down. We pulled up to a red light, and he looks at me, and I look at him, and it was just that one perfect moment. Like, isn't this just amazing? If anywhere these kids could be, this is where they choose to be. Brandon has always told me that he thought he was an encourager. He always said he found himself trying to cheer people up and to make them smile. I think all of us here tonight, Brandon, you have made us smile. I've enjoyed working with you in ministry, and my prayer is that you continue to grow in your ministry and in your faith, becoming the man God has planned for you to be. I love you, PP.
Thank you, Paul. You know, Brandon, you're going to have to get used to following all of the Amish sports teams. There'll be the Clydesdale throw and things like that. You'll have a lot of fun. Brandon Yoder. How does that sound? Okay, anyway. Good job, kids. One thing, Brandon, we were talking about Amish sports, and we will have the 2015 milk-off that you can participate in. So, anyway, enough about that. This next roaster, I proudly bring to the stage. Well, I bring him to the stage, and I'm hoping that he has a medication tonight, and I'm going to bring him up right now. Phil.
Another hour or so before the medicine jack start. As many of you know, I've known Brandon for a couple of years now. I was sitting here trying to figure, gosh, probably about 14 years, I'm thinking. But many events and many things pop into your mind, and you just want to think of more comical ones. And we love to make fun of him a little bit. But we were sitting there on a Wednesday night one night in a service, and we were talking about things, and Brandon was on one of those rolls where he had to go to the bathroom about every 10 minutes. And that's not unusual. So he had jumped up and left and gone to the bathroom. And Brian says, all right, when he comes back in, we're going to be really quiet. We're going to look at him and go, what is your worst sin? Okay? So here comes Brandon bouncing back in, feeling pretty good about himself. Brian says, Brandon, we're just sitting here talking. What do you think is your worst sin? Brandon, without a blink, turns around and goes, lusting. That had to come out someday, man. We've really never let that go. And speaking of which, I don't know when, if ever, Logan may have been his first kiss, for all I know. There's days I wonder, but I want to point out that most of the young ladies he's dated, and there has been a few, well, they're all married. All of them. There was a particular young lady that he was seeing there for a little bit, and you know, me being the, well, we were having a lock-in at the church, and me being the, you know, little bit of an encourager, I'm telling on myself just a little bit here. They were running around and trying to hide, and I thought to myself, well, just give him a second of opportunity here. And I says, you two hide in there. Go hide in there. He didn't want to do it. I don't want to do that. Go hide in there. I'm not supposed to. Go hide in there. Well, they did. And I kind of hung out in the hallway there for a few minutes, you know, just kind of staying around for a minute. Went back in. We got him, went on about our business. I says, well, son, did you kiss the girl? Well, no. Was I supposed to? There's no hope. I don't know. Maybe the Amish will help him. Another night, just comical things about him. We can brag on him for just a little bit, but we were having a small birthday gathering for, I think it was one of the, I can't remember who it was now, man. One of the guys, I think. But there were several of us that met in the parking lot at the church. Somebody wanted to go to Hooters. That's fine. We're all sitting around talking about it. Like, man, we have to take 5 cars to get there. So I got my key. Let's just take the van. Take the church van to Hooters. It's a chicken place. It's okay. So we get in the van. We're going up the road. Brandon says, Phil, is this a good idea? Like, what? Is somebody going to see us? It's okay, man. Okay. He's always been a little concerned. I got to give him credit. But to brag on him for a little bit, when he was 16, youth pastor kind of moved on. And took a different position. Brandon had felt the calling to youth ministry and was kind of acting upon that, kind of handling some classes a little bit, kind of doing some things. And upon his own free will, he stepped up, stood at the pulpit, and did his best to minister to his peers. That was rough. I'm proud of him. But as we watched him do that for several months, you watched him grow, you watched him get closer to God, and you watched his calling come forth and be very, very evident. As time went on, he had a junior high ministry for a period of time, and then we were fortunate enough to have him come here. And in the last few years he's been here, we've watched some things grow. We've watched some young people learn about Christ. We have watched a little round guy become extremely athletic. The toe touches are pretty amazing. The basketball shots are pretty amazing. We do need to find him some 70s era basketball shorts because the ones he wears now are ankle pants. He's just not tall enough. But I did laugh at Keith mentioning you dressing like Scott. You've got about enough hair to be close to the same. All you need is some gold chains, man. Just need some gold chains. But it's been an honor to work with Brandon again and watch him grow again, watch him take his classes and watch him work hard and watch his concern about the kids and the concern about just ministry in general grow. And I think something kind of neat happened to him here recently when he was on a trip with some young people. And I think most of you know he has worked with some kids doing credit recovery and some of the, not the greatest kids in the school, I guess you could call them if you wanted to, which is unfortunate for them. But Brandon has been able to minister to them and talk to them. A young person came up to him after a trip and said, "Mr. Moore, I appreciate you being there." And I think that impacted him. And I think he's realized he's doing what he needs to do. I know he is. And I think anybody that's worked with him or around him does too. So kids, you've been fortunate. You've been fortunate. Brandon, you've been fortunate. I've been fortunate. And I wish you the best of luck as time goes on. And I think I speak for everybody here that if you ever need anything at all, you're just a phone call away. Good luck to you, my friend.
Thanks, Phil. Next guy we have, Rusty, is a good friend of Brandon's. I guess they've been good friends since grade school or kindergarten or whatever. And I want to bring him up right now. Again, I wish I could say something cutting, but I can't. I'm going to bring him up right now. Spencer.
Spencer Jett. No, last name.
So, everybody that knows me pretty well, I'm a super nice guy, so I have a hard time saying bad things about Brandon. And that's why when they asked me to do the roast, I didn't even know how to start it, nor do I remember being asked to do the roast. So this is all a surprise to me and you all as well. But first off, I want to start with Dylan's story. I didn't know that Brandon had been kissed on the lips by another guy, and we had spent a lot of long nights together. And I want to reassure everybody that no lip on lip contact happened between Brandon and myself. But on those long nights, we definitely, doing projects in the church. Brandon's been a super big help to me with his engineering skills and the shoulder shrug of, I don't know. So one of the best ones was we're hanging up the door in the teen room. So I'm sitting there, sweating, holding this 800-pound door, trying to sit on the wall by myself. And Brandon's like, "Yeah, no, I wish I could help, but the Reds are playing tonight. So if you don't mind," and I say I don't mind lying, of course, as everybody does. Like, "Oh no, anytime you need help, just give us a call." We don't mean that at all. But so yes, he left me here in the church alone with this 800-pound door, trying to put it up on myself. And that was one of the best helps I've had. And then also, talking about Keith's car maintenance, he does every 30,000 miles, is not a lie. And he sent me a picture the other day of what he said is this the oil light, and it's a picture of the engine. And I say, no, that is the check engine light. So I asked him if he needs help, so I come down to church, and he has the hood open. And I was like, are you checking it? And he said, yeah, it's still there. Well, yeah, all right. That's basically as far as Brandon's maintenance skills go. But as Jack had said, I met him in kindergarten. We've been best friends, Crab Elementary, Verity, high school. So 20 years now, we've been friends. Yes, I did go to Crab. Some of us can't make it. Some of us can. And but no, we have been best friends, and I've encouraged this move for him as well because I think it will help him grow. It's definitely going to be a different aspect of life for him being on his own. I'm sure I'll get text from time to time, should my stove be on fire? It's electric. He'll ask, what does that mean? And I'll just, don't worry about it. So, wait to see how long he lasts in construction before the apartment burns down. But I hope him the best. I know that we all do, in all sincerity. And I love you, buddy. Have a good time.
Thanks, Spencer. This next roaster, he needs no introduction, really. He's legendary in this area, and he's made his living eating at different events. He's been known to eat, 42 chickens, I think, once. 8-ounce steaks. And all of his neighbors, when he was a kid, I understand that they all complained because he would eat the neighbors' pets. That's, I don't know if that's true or not. But he's self-proclaimed the graveyard of 1,000 dead chickens, Bob Charters.
What do I say about Brandon? I don't know where to begin. He don't likes to bounce belly very much. He don't like to do the knuckle buster too well. And he sure don't know how to work on an automobile. But he does know and love kids. So Brandon, we've been opposite for a long time. We love you, man. I don't know what to say or how to say it, but you're doing a great job. He started here, I guess, with 2 or 3 kids. Now he's got about 20-some teenagers. And that means a lot. For a church that didn't have much teenagers, now we got a mess of it. And they all still don't know what to do. Buddy, you don't know how to, he's always asking questions, but he don't know how to do things. He ain't like his grandpa. Grandpa does and does a lot of things, but I don't know what happened to you, Brandon. Either you fell asleep doing what Papa was teaching you, or you just didn't care. No, all jokes aside, you're doing the job that God's called you to do, and I feel that you'll have a better and a more abundance in the job you're going to be taking. And God be with you. We'll miss you down here. And that's all I got to say. Love you, man.
we have a write-in candidate. I don't think she needs any introduction.
I hesitated to say anything because Brandon says I'm mean to him. And I did want to be mean to him tonight, but I felt like there was an aspect of his ministry here that needed to be spoken to. First of all, for those of you that are Blazer grads, he has transitioned. He is a Russell Red Devil now. And I asked him the other day, I said, so do you feel like you've crossed over? And I said, surely not. He was like, yeah, pretty much. A paycheck will do that to you. So Brandon had the privilege of being able to work at Russell with some of our at-risk kids, some of our kids that weren't passing all their classes, and he was there to help them to get on the computer and get through those classes. And a couple things I learned about Brandon through that is it doesn't matter where he goes, it doesn't matter what position he's in, kids love him. He's a magnetic guy, and kids are attracted to him no matter where he is. So in that position, he was in a position of authority. He was the one who was supposed to be going, get off your phone, stay on the computer, get back to work, whatever. And they still loved him. Something else I learned about him that I knew about him in youth ministry, he does not like confrontation. Never has liked confrontation. I think that's accurate, right? I'm not speaking out of turn here. Well, one day I was walking past his classroom, and there was a kid standing up in the window, and his name was Chris, and this kid was a piece of work. Like, it wasn't just Brandon, this kid was a piece of work, for sure. He ended up being kicked out of school, but he was standing up, and he was cussing, and he was throwing his arms, and the door is shut, and so I walk by, and I'm like, okay, so I knock on the door, and the dude turns around and looks at me and says, what? And I said, open the door. And he opened the door and just kept on cussing like I wasn't even there. So I look over like, where's the adult? And Brandon's sitting behind his desk. And so I try to talk this kid down, try to calm him down, and he acts like, and Brandon's like, it's under control. It's under control. So I walk out of the room and I go back to my room and I continue to hear this kid yelling. And I come back to pass the room and he's gone. And I said to Brandon, I said, what happened? And he said he sent himself to the office. So the kid sent himself to the office because Brandon would. The kid was like, finally, I'm going to talk to the principal. So he sent himself to the office. So see, Brandon's way of non-confrontational behavior, it works because the kid made the choice on his own to go to the office. So I always think you need to confront people, but apparently Brandon knows a better way. So the other thing I realized about Brandon is that he is incredibly picky when it comes to women. For someone who hasn't had a lot of girlfriends, he's especially picky. And he told me one time, he said, it's because I deserve it. And I said, you're absolutely right. You do deserve the absolute best that God would ever have for you. But it seems that the girls that he picks are typically not possible for him. He was at the high school for about a week or two, and he starts asking me about people he sees, and I'm like, okay, are we talking about a teacher? Or are we talking about a student? He goes, no, it's a teacher. And one teacher that he picked, she is adorable, and everybody thinks that she's adorable, but she was married. Sorry. The other teacher was also adorable, old enough to be his mother, but also adorable. And then he's got a couple of girls come and go since we've been here, and I was trying to think today of all the different reasons why you turn girls away, because we act like he's never had anybody interested. That's not true. There have been girls interested in Brandon because Brandon is quite a catch. But there's always something wrong with them, like on a Seinfeld show, like man hands or close talker or, whatever. And so I have prophesied over Brandon's life that he's going to find his wife in Ohio. And I'm sure that probably pains his family. You want a Kentuckian probably. But I believe he's going to find his wife in Ohio. Could you do me a favor? Don't be picky. If God brings a woman to you, just say thank you. I want to just say that we prayed for Brandon for about 5 years before he came to us. We prayed that God would bring him to us. We knew that we needed a youth pastor. There was a time where we had 35 teens back there in the room with me by myself. So we needed a youth pastor. And so we were grateful that the Lord spoke to him and brought him to us, because it was a matter of prayer on Kevin and I's hearts for many, many years to bring, because we didn't just need a youth pastor. We knew we needed him. And we knew it was for such a time as this that he was to be here. And I think that all the changes and the people who've been brought here and the people who've grown up with Brandon, like Isaiah and Hannah, those people have been here from the beginning and grew up with Brandon. I think that they will say that he was sent to us for such a time as this, and I'm grateful to the Lord for bringing him to us. And I think that can be said for the Russell, what is the name? The Russell Credit Recovery Room. I just pray he doesn't make me do it now that you're leaving. So we love you, Brandon.
Robin. Next person on the list is one of my close friends and one of my favorite singers. But he's not here tonight, so Carl, we'd like to give you another.
I've learned a lot about Brandon Lott that I didn't know. But I'm going to tell you something that none of you know. I really think it's important for a person who's in any leadership ministry position to really to be what he says he is. And I'm not sure we've been 100% sure. We pretty much thought we knew Brandon, but I found out something about him that really surprised me. He's not exactly what. We're sorry to see him go, but he's not exactly what we thought, what we think he is. And it's not a very important way, but I think it's important. And Robin mentioned it, and even Jack mentioned it, and they don't know, but they've noticed it. I was in the office not very long ago, just a few days ago, and making a couple of copies. I looked out the window, and Brandon and Paula were coming out of the Family Law Center to their cars, and they were chatting. And as Brandon came out, he laid the package on top of his car and had a drink, what was that, a Mountain Dew in his hand. So he opened the door, he talked to Paula, he put it in his car, and she said something, and he got in his car, and they both drove off. And as he went around this corner right here, that package fell off the top of his car. So I go running out the door, and I was going to grab the bag. I said, "Yeah, Brandon!" It was too late. He was already gone. So I picked it up. Here it is. Well, I picked it up, and I thought, I'll give it to him next time. I'll probably put it in here and give it to him when he comes back to church. And just being as the person that I am, I saw that it was something red, so I thought, I know what that is. That's one of those stupid red shirts, Cincinnati Reds. I said, I think I'll just open it up and deface it, and then give it to him. So I grabbed it out of here and I started opening. Yeah, it's a Cincinnati Red shirt. What do you think I should write on it to try to make him mad? So I opened it up, wrong side out, so I turned it right side out, and it was. This guy is a closet St. Louis Cardinals. You see, Jack already told him he's going to have to give up this team, and Robin said you transitioned from one, your great love to Ashton Tomcats, now you're a Russell Red. Don't you look how fickle he is? He just goes from Cincinnati Red to St. Louis Cardinals. And I started to confront him with it, and I thought, no, we're having this little roast for him. I'll wait till that night, and I'll really get it and tell everybody who Brandon Moore really is, a closet St. Louis Cardinals fan. I'm so proud of him.
Well, we've had a lot of fun tonight. I want to I want to thank all the different people that took part in this and roasting and just made this a fun event, even though it's kind of bittersweet. And we all have mixed emotions about it. We're glad that he's following the call of the Lord. And, you know, you came to us 4 years ago and wasn't sure about you. And I am now, just by the work you've done. You came at a very crucial time in our church, I feel like. First time, you know, you took, I know Isaiah started a little early. He was barely a preteen, and you kind of welcomed him into the crew and broke his finger, I think, passing football. Well, he stuttered up real bad. I don't think it was broke anyway. But you came at a very crucial time, Brandon. We needed a foundation for our youth and for that part of the church growth. And like Bob said, there was, I think, 2 or 3 when you came, maybe 4. I don't remember. It's hard to remember that number because you can look and see what we have now. You've given so much time, and we needed somebody that would give their time, their dedication. More than anything, right then, because of previous experiences down through the years, we needed commitment. And you definitely gave us that. And you've created an answer, you know, God's Word in their life. And it's not always easy for them. It's not always easy to hear things. And, you know, it's all great when you're caught up in the moment and, you know, you can easily fall down after that. I mean, I know from personal experience, it's easy to get all, you know, whoop-de-doo about something, like you were talking this morning, during the time that everybody's doing it. But you've given them an outlet. You've provided a lot of solid foundation for a lot of these kids. You have, I've admired the way you know, deal with each one in a different way. You've been there for them. And I just can't tell you enough how much I appreciate what you've done for Isaiah and all the kids. Actually, I'm going to say him first because he's my personal, you know, responsibility. But we love you, we appreciate you. You know, we will pray for you. And you've just been a real inspiration to our youth. And I'm going to tell you, you can look around this church on Sunday mornings. When you guys were gone, there was only a few youth here, and it was a big gap on that right-hand side that was empty, or almost empty. There was a few that were here. But it's just, you know, I've been going here a long time too, like several others, and you've just done a remarkable job. And I want to thank you personally from my family. And I want to thank you for the church. And I just wish, you know, the best of luck to you. And as the old saying goes, Godspeed. And I know you need speed. So, and I just want to tell you, that's all I want to say. We appreciate you.
That's right.
Not as much as a speech as I was just thinking of some of my favorite Jack and Bob moments. Just the well, younger generation just can't get nothing right. They're still on their hands. They sit up here and they spend a million to do this, and they don't fix their garden, and you just get on and on. So that's, you know, we can go with Bob there. And then there's just something special about every time that Jack gets up front to sing, just the mood changes in the room. I think the teens agree. Jack gets up there and they're just like, there was this one particular service, I don't remember what it was, but like, Jack gets up there by the piano, and he gets this stool, and he's just like, why don't we dim the lights? And the lights go out a little bit, and Jack's just like, his eyes on the stairway. great moments like that. And you know, one of my other favorites is Paul Tony. I don't think he's here tonight, but he sings and has sung a song when I was growing up at First Church too, and it sounds just the same now as it did then. And that is the anchor holds. Love it. But there's still just something special about Jack. And it was just appropriate that Jack was the MC tonight, just because, just for a little bit longer, we got to see how it is. I just can't wait for the moment when Isaiah becomes Jack. Alyssa always teases Isaiah, he's got potential. If he's anything like Jack, he's got endless potential. Just wait till Isaiah's up front at Plaza and just, let me dim the lights. That'll be the day. But yeah, we've had some good times here, and as the pastor says, we've been there, done that, and bought the T-shirt in so many different aspects. And I just want to thank you guys for giving me that opportunity for almost 4 years to share that with you. And you know, thank you guys so much for doing this tonight, just having some fun. And you know, Bob didn't go off on a tangent, which is good. I just expect to get up there. Every time I walk by, boy, dog, I'm just sitting there, ain't doing nothing, looking at the music, and just, I don't know.
Don't mind me. Stand still, Brandon.
What? Well, thank you.
Put your head down there so you can get some hair, man.
Jack Hank's hair replacement. That is one of the best parts about getting roasted, is then you get to roast afterwards. So again, just thank you guys so much for all of this, and for all of this. Almost got stuck in the air. That one didn't taste good. There you go.
There you go.
So, well done.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much. For all of this. Thank you again.
Kevin, you have anything else you want to say? All right, I guess, who wants to lead us in prayer tonight? Bob, since you've been the center of attention here tonight a couple times, would you lead us in a dismissal prayer? And then we're dismissed. Thank you all for coming.